Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. Well, I discovered something. Yesterday, I stayed in primarily after I went for my early morning walkies. Then I was in for the afternoon, and then I went out to check my mail at 4 o'clock. And when I came back, I noticed there was a sign on my door that said, could you please come see me? You know, said in very flowery, very polite language. And then I went and checked, and I had missed them because they get off work, the support staff, at 4 o'clock. So I just missed having to see the person whom wanted to see me. I was thus nervous and anxious all night, and I was at their door at 8 o'clock, but they were a little bit late, so I hung around, then left, and then came back. And I discovered, because it wasn't a big thing, it was very minor, and they meant nothing by the note. In fact, they probably thought they were being a little bit cute, and they would be. Except I came to realize, because of my childhood, politeness I associate with anger. When someone calms down and is polite, instead of being histrionic and loud, that's danger. And the more polite someone is, the more angry they are. And from the politeness of the letter, even though it was meant in a joking fashion, the letter, just the little note that was left on the door with some tape, to me, it read barely controlled fury. But of course, it was just something light and fluffy. And I talked to my sister about that. And she said, I was wondering, I don't know why I can't say that now, wondering if I was the only one, because she associates politeness with anger. When people are being polite, they're mad. We never leave our childhoods behind. Almost 62 years old, and only now figuring stuff out that has affected my entire life. But then there are people that go through their lives and never figure it out. So, hey, I can still walk. I go out for walks all the time. We have people in the place where I stay, they use electrical chairs and such to get around. I can walk. Which is just my way of saying, some people have it good, some people have it bad, some people have it worse, some people have it better. I just have what I have, and at least I can still function. So thumbs up on that. Moderately high functioning, which is high masking. And I'm very good at masking. As much as I have social anxiety, that was a nice whistle, social anxieties, and when I went to Walmart, I'll talk about this one too, it was not good. I am very good at masking. I can be, instead of just the wallflower, person dying against the wall in the darkness, I can put on the mask of being charming and witty and mixing around and all that. I can wear that mask. It is exhausting. I am relying entirely on scripts because that's not me. And when I say scripts, it's just because I'm able to follow some flows of conversation where even though I may not understand how to connect with what's being talked about, because I have observed enough, I can ride through that. I'll seem charming, witty, and urbane, but I'm screaming behind my mask. Oh, unfortunate but true. It is very exhausting to mask. But, it's better than not in my case, so yay. Not that for my mental health. Since I was thinking the other day of how the people here and the people at the place that do the financing, because I need information presented in a specific way, and they would not give it to me. My mask ended up stripped off involuntarily, and I didn't have any scripts to follow, and I just stood there, neurodiversely naked, and it was a horrible feeling. So, yay on that. Anyway, though, when I went to Walmart, for whatever reason, I have some weird triggers. Bright artificial lighting in large places is an anxiety trigger. I have to keep my vision downward and block lights because, oh my gosh, they have banks of super bright lights up in these places. So I gotta keep my head down and block that light. The few times that of lately, God's above, I can speak, of late, where I have kept my back straight and my head high, has gone right up into those lights, and it just zooms in. Okay, I hunched back over. I'll do proper posture when I'm outside. Because, oh boy. And the main reason I wanted to bring it up is I discovered consciously something that I do subconsciously. I noticed that as I was walking, I was staring at an apple. And as I walked by it, I flipped up and started looking at something else. Focusing on that helped bring the bright lights so they weren't quite so bright, and all the people not quite so close. It wasn't fixing the problem, but it was making the problem a little easier to handle. It wasn't fun going to Walmart. I don't enjoy the aftermath of. I am really tired. It was not fun there, and it is exhausting to have mass anxiety, which I'm proud of myself with all the stuff that was happening. I could have had a bad time. But instead, because I noticed and made conscious use of my noticing and then thinking about it, that focusing on just the one thing at a time can help. It can get you through a bad period, I tell you. About past that, it's just been days and times. Even though I can go out walkies, my heel is hurting horrifically. So that's all the time when I'm awake. That's wearing on me. But I'm still doing my level best to think on a creative level. So my solo RPG stuff, still doing so. Thinking a lot on it. I talked a lot about it yesterday, so I'm not going to worry too much about it today. Also, I don't have any of it here because it's over on my bed. I went to the library because our local libraries, and I bet yours does too, offer some of this no matter what state you are in the United States. If you're not in the United States, then I have no ideas what sort of library type systems you have. But here in the US, at least most of the states where there's people I've talked to about this, we are allowed X amount of dollars of free printing from our local library. Here, there's 44 bucks. So we get 44 bucks of free printing. I got a stack of paper about this thick done, and that was about $23 worth of printing. So that was good. And I mean, literally, I'm not sarcasm there. It's stuff that, it's goofy the way I have to go around doing it. A lot of the things that you will purchase from like a Drive-Thru RPG or Itch for physical PDF stuff, when you go to print it, if it's set up for like A5 or A4 paper instead of letter, because A4 is slightly larger, it won't fit on 8.5 by 11. So instead of shrinking it a little to fit it on the page, it will shrink it to half size, rotate it halfway, and then put it up at the top of the page with the bottom half empty, instead of just shrinking it a little to fit. So to keep it from doing that, I have to open up each document and then print it as a PDF to letter size, then upload that to the library so that it'll print it on the letter size paper we have, since we don't have A4 paper. And you can't bring your own paper because they're charging you for paper when you do the printing. So yeah, thumbs up for that. Still, got it done, even though I had to print everything to PDF and then upload the printed PDFs. It all works, so that's a good thing. Yay on that. One day I'll print everything. Maybe. I mean, there's some things even now. I was looking through some of the stuff that I have, and it would be almost foolish to print it because it works better by hitting the hyperlinks in the document. It takes you to the proper page with the proper things that you've got, and then there's the other options for you to click on to. So it's just an adventure. Works best if you can click the hyperlinks, so why even print it out? So there are some things like that. Thumbs up. Yay. Past that though, I am doing as well as I can, even though I don't know if it's because I'm just catching up or my body is trying to catch up on sleep, but I've been having falling asleep issues again in the afternoon. And along with that, if I get even a little bit on the drowsy side, my motivation to do stuff goes wham. And the bad part about that is I already have executive function dysfunction issues. There's a lot of different ways to look at this one, but it's when I want to do something doesn't mean I can do it. I mean, there are this one guy, I keep using him as an example because he and his partner are he's coming to an understanding of his ADHD and what he can and can't do. He is having to come to terms with if he throws his pair of socks at that dirty socks at a dirty clothes hamper and they don't go in because of his ADHD with the executive function issues, he may want to pick those up immediately. But he better get used to the idea that maybe he can pick them up tomorrow. Maybe. So things are going to be possibly more cluttered than you would like. But you're not a bad person just because you're screaming at yourself inside of your head to do something and you can't. Executive function and dysfunction stuff is not fun. The sound of frustration. I laugh at that, the squirrel moment here. There are these two fellows that have been doing internet stuff for at least 10 years together. They do weird news, technology news. There's Ricky and Elliot. I've been watching them for a few years now. I did not like them at first when they were back with Machinima, like 10 years and some back. But I've liked them for like the past 4 or 5 years. And one of the things that's become semi-common for Ricky to do, who is a taller fellow, if you don't know them, he's taller and thinner, and Elliot is shorter, has a beard, though he shaved it off, and it's growing back. He's bald, so he wears a cap. Well, they both wear hats, but, they're getting older. Ricky is like 40 years old now. But it's becoming increasingly common, especially when they're talking about politics, for Ricky to end up doing the instead of like language. And I understand the feeling entirely. When you've got words won't do it. You have feelings where you can't, they just don't fit the words to come out of your mouth. But something has to be said or expressed. So, and it's just, oh my gosh. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I'm going to call this one to a halt because I talked too long yesterday, and I'll make it up by cutting it short today. So if you're a patron, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome people. Without your help, I would be I wouldn't be a terribly, massively hurting monkey, but I would be going from here to here, and here is a whole lot better than here. So thank you so very much for that boost. It is appreciated. For everybody that leaves me comments, thumbs up and thank you, that too is appreciated. I read as many as YouTube shows me, answer as many as I can, with which my nerve compression is not as many as I would like. But it is appreciated to no end. Thumbs up and thank you. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe share the video to people that you think would maybe like watching an old guy ramble on incoherently, that would be very, very cool. And while you're thinking about that, I do have a GoFundMe to try and get some money together for a computer that will play games and record games and record, edit, and render video. The laptop I have gets me online and plays some games, but will do no more. It's a great piece of equipment, but it is very, very limited. I've got about $500 and some odd gathered up from donations. Thank you so very, very much. I'm going to be seriously shopping up, looking at all-in-ones, looking at pricing parts to make a computer, seeing what we've got. If you could see it in your heart to donate, that would be so very, very awesome. It is appreciated. Thank you all. Well, did I already say that I was going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself, watch videos, play games and such? Because that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you can do what you would like to get done for the rest of the day, no matter what day, no matter what time you watch this. If you cannot, please do not beat yourself up. It is not your fault. It will not help you to beat yourself up. Be good to yourself. You deserve it. Oh, I suppose, if you have watched this far, if you could write tant spray. Not taint spray, tant spray. That would be awesome. That would let the algorithm and me know that you did, in fact, watch this far. Greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. Thank you. No, this side of my mouth is just drooping more and more. Some sort of palsy, I guess. Hopefully. Anyway, though. Yay. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. I guess it would be kind of a cologne, taint spray.